The chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Basic Education, Joy Maimela, has expressed disappointment after a teacher from Queenstown High School got suspended for allegedly having multiple sexual relationships with learners. After a meeting with stakeholders, the school has decided to suspend the teacher. The allegations came to the attention of the department after a post went viral on social media. For more on this, we are now joined by Vuyiseka Mboxela, spokesperson for the Eastern Cape Department of Education. Vuyiseka, very good afternoon to you. Thanks very much for your time. I think disappointment is an understatement.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mvoko, and good afternoon to the viewers of Newzroom Afrika. Indeed, disappointment will be an understatement. We are also embarrassed with this incident, especially at this point in time, because we're busy preparing for the final examination, but an event of this nature comes to play. But what I can give to you is the confirmation that indeed the accused teacher has been suspended, and the teacher is an SGB teacher, that is employed by parents. And I can also confirm, Mr. Mvoko, that today we have had a stakeholders meeting there at the school. And the three things that came out is that, one, the department is seized with a responsibility to investigate the claims of racism that were also coming out clearly. And secondly, the department is seized with a responsibility to investigate the sexual misconduct that is affecting the one identified teacher for now. And also the third thing is that the meeting agreed that irrespective of all what is happening, the schooling system of that school must continue, and as it continues, it must not cloud the two important issues that needs to be investigated by the department. And also, I must make this indication that you'll find that sometimes we talk about an investigation and it takes long. Part of what has been agreed upon in the meeting is that it must be a very swift process so that the image of the school can be restored and the clarity between the teacher and the victim can also be clarified. And of course, we have psychosocial support that we must give to the learner and also the teachers, because themselves, one way or the other, they are affected by what is happening in the school.
I'm keen to know what the attitude of the teacher is. Is the teacher as embarrassed, or is the teacher denying it all and putting up a fight?
For now, we're not previewed to the teacher's attitude as a department, and also as myself. I haven't met or seen the teacher. But be that as it may, be it he is going to put a fight or not put a fight, he will do what is within the ambit of the law. And as a department, we are obligated to act swiftly, and we are obligated to do what we know that it should be done in making sure that we calm the situation. If we decide to go through the process of the legal route, we will respect that, and the department will put its own foot to that process. And also, I must make this indication, Mr. Mvoko, that we've got also South African Council of Educators, which is a body that is responsible for the conduct of all teachers in the country, is also in the space, because once you talk of a sexual misconduct, what comes to an interest in mind in anyone that would have been listening is that is this individual then fit to interact with learners, and also can this be an incident that is happening for the very first time? And that is why I'm speaking about investigation, that which must unearth everything that relates to that particular individual. And that body is the one that has got an ability then to do that. And subsequently, after it would have come up with a conclusive investigation, it can then give a substantive advice to the department on what it is going to do. But if SACE decide to take the teaching accreditation of that teacher would not be teaching anywhere in the country. But if the investigation comes and say that is not guilty, then the department will take its own process and make sure that it complies with what is prescribed in the policies of the department and also the policies of this country.
And what is the attitude of the employer, the SGB in this case?
The SGB, just by reading from the statement, it is saying, let's allow the law to take its own course, and at the very same time, it is interested in protecting the learners at the school in general, because part of what the SGB exists for is to make sure that the well-being of teachers is taken care of, the well-being of learners is taken care of, and just generally the school is functioning very well. And from what we have gathered and also read from the statement is that they are ready to respect the process that is to unfold, led by the department and all other legislated bodies.
Perhaps more importantly, is any form of assistance being given to the learners that the teacher is alleged to have had these multiple sexual relationships with?
Definitely. And the other thing that we are contemplating is that we must not just be very much rushing to quickly come up with a conclusive conclusion, because it may happen that we are going to close information. And we are also wishing to make this call that every person that has got something that can be put on the table, either as an evidence and or either as a claim, that which needs to be investigated must come forward. Because what we don't want to do is to just deal with one item and only to find that there are all other 5 incidents that we could have been dealing with. And we don't want to just deal with one teacher and only to find that maybe it could have been bigger than the number. At the very same time, we don't want to be people that are saying that we are extending an investigation unendingly. But the support that we are giving is that everyone must come, whoever that has got an evidence must come forward. And 2, the affected learner is going to get the psychosocial support. Me, personally, I have met with the parent and we've got the contact. The district director by Monday will be in that school to make sure that there's a process that is defined, and also to make sure that learners in the school, they are certain of their own security and they are certain of the support of government.
Have any timelines been put to ensure that this process goes as speedily as possible, especially considering the fact that it's almost exam time?
Yes, that's the other very fundamental reality, Mr. Mvoko, that we're looking at is the timing of it. Because by Monday, I think we'll be left with 7 days before the commencement of the final examination. And that is why I'm saying that Monday, the district director is going to be there. And part of what he's going to do is to outline the process. And also in the meeting, it was raised strongly that an unending investigation will cripple the victim and also will cripple the accused, because once you delay a process, you are leaving those that are affected of the incident under a heavy black cloud, which makes them not to be certain of their future. And it was agreed and resolved that this process must conclude as soon as possible, and whatever that would have been concluded, it must further be communicated in the public, because there's nothing that is painful like parading a statement in the public. And when a person would have been absolved by the process or a person would have been found guilty by the process, it does not get to be taken to the public, because now as a department we've got an internal file that relates to this teacher, but the public also has a file that relates to this teacher, and it's upon us as a department to then issue a statement that is going to say, as the department, this is how we have closed the file, and that will then need to be communicated to the department, to the public, so that the public itself can close the file. and not have an individual that is having an unending case that is going more than 3 months, because there is a stipulation of 30 days of any investigation to finish. So even on this one, we are going to make sure that it is put to rest and an investigation is done swiftly.